minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not a doctor, but I remember when I was a kid and the doctor would come to the house, so that tells you that I'm probably pretty old. And then when I was a dad and I had a young son, of course I would take my son to the doctor. In today's day and age, you go online and you look at WebMD or something like that, and it's probably pretty dangerous to do stuff like that because we try to diagnose our own ailments, and our children's ailments is probably even worse. And then, you go to the grocery, it could be the grocery store. Sometimes pharmacies are in grocery stores nowadays, right? But you go to the pharmacy, people say, oh, he's got a cough. Let me get some cough medicine, right? You don't even know. We just trust these companies that put these medicines on the shelves,
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Laurence Flint is on the phone. He's a pediatric hospitalist. He serves as an in-house physician for hospitalized newborns, infants, and children at various hospitals in northern New Jersey. And he's talking to us about a new survey by the National Association of School Nurses to raise awareness and encourage parents to reach out to their healthcare provider in order to determine when it's appropriate to give our children over-the-counter medications. And I would assume that also would include which medications are the right ones. Dr. Flint, good morning, sir. How are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on today.
And where are you right now?
I'm in northern New Jersey right now.
Okay, real quick weather question. How's the weather?
Right now it's sunny and it's cold, so it's trying to burn away some of this snow that we have here.
Not too
I'm sure
bad.
the weather's a little different there.
It's not too bad. Yeah, but both of us are transplants. We missed the snow. We were looking at it on the webcam thing. So
what I'd like to do, as you mentioned, a new survey that we had come out here that had looked at moms and school-aged nurses for school-aged children,
right.
looked at their perspective on the impact on cough and colds on these kids. What it looked at here is what kind of negative impact they're having. Some of these messages, aren't going to be a surprise. Certainly, the moms and the nurses felt that it impacted their ability to focus. It impacted their energy level. Certainly impacts school performance and missed time in the classroom, as well as sleep.
And what was it that impacted the medications or the cold and flu?
Symptoms. This is the symptoms of cough and cold that are impacting their ability, both in and out of the classroom. Just basically to have their quality of life improve there. What we also found out here, I think the most surprising thing was how parents were reacting or how they were utilizing the information that they had. 64% in the study, 64% of school nurses reported that many parents worry that they're not doing enough to alleviate the symptoms of cough and cold. But what the survey also found was only about a quarter of moms would actually consider contacting their healthcare professional for advice on how to manage.
Oh, really? And why is that? Because they trust? Are we trusting the internet too much?
I don't really know the answer. I think what the survey for me gives us an opportunity to look into some more research on there. Why are we having this disconnect? And I think that's the most important take-home message, for your listeners, is that this disconnect between what we want and that we don't feel as parents that we're not doing enough, or we may not know how to do it, but where do we get that information from? And certainly to anybody who's listening that's a healthcare provider, to try to reach out to those parents as well and try to put that together, because your pediatrician is going to be that, I think, the first stop that you should really have there.
Do you know, and in a way, I mean, we do it innocently, but I think even our show, when parents listen to us, I mean, it's not Robin and I, but we have guests who sometimes will say, use the holistic method or the natural method, use herbs. Others say, no, don't do that. And so we have been a party to delivering confusing messages simply because we have people on who disagree with one another. And so it is hard to know sometimes. And when you're trying to deal with your children, you don't want to second guess. You want to be sure.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we find as well. I see it in the emergency department when I have people come in. There's still a big confusion about a lot of things. I think one of the things that I see most often, and to give you a statistic, children at this time of year get sick an average of 3 times during the cough and cold season, which means that you're having a few children that are going to be getting sick 5 or 6 times. And almost not a day goes by when I see a parent who comes in and they're at wit's end because they feel that their child's been sick for weeks or months on end, and that they're not getting better, where in fact they're just getting playing past the virus at school, and they're getting sick 5 times. So that's each one of those is going to be a separate one. But to them, it seems like they're constantly sick, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners can appreciate that.
And that was my concern as a parent. My children are in their 30s now, and when I felt like it was more than a cold kind of a thing, I would always take them to the pediatrician's office because I just didn't want to make guesses that weren't correct, and then that way I could get proper medication instead of buying over the counter.
Yeah, and that's perfect. What we see too is that there are other things that can happen. For the vast majority of these things are going to be viral in nature, and certainly we can do a lot of things both from a medication side or non-medication side to alleviate those symptoms. But of course, there's other things that can happen. They're going to need more treatment. You think about ear infections. People are always concerned about pneumonia, though it's relatively rare. It can happen. And then other children who are going to be predisposed towards something like asthma, a lot of times these viruses are going to set them off, and they're going to need additional medication as well. But I think, like I said, the take-home message for me with this is partner with your pediatrician, partner with your school nurses, partner with whatever healthcare provider that you're using, and reach out to them with your questions. It's kind of trite to say, but there are no bad questions. If you're not sure, check with them. That's our job.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we run out of time, give us some information so that we can get on the right track. Is there a website that you would recommend?
So if your listeners want to look into the results of this survey a little more, they can go to the National Association of School Nurses website, which is www.nasn.org, and they can see what these moms and school nurses had responded to. And certainly, like I said, more information. Go to your pediatrician. Certainly, things like the American Academy of Pediatrics website has a great amount of information on taking care of cough and colds as well.
If parents are giving over-the-counter medication to their children, should they stick with one brand, or should they fluctuate between the different brands?
There's a lot of things out there, and I think the most important thing is to get educated. Because, like you said, you go down the aisle and you see there's every kind of thing. There's multi-symptom, there's single symptom, there's store brand, there's all kinds of things out there. So I think the most important thing is to identify what the key symptom that your child is having and to treat that appropriately. And then, because every child's going to be unique and they're all going to have different needs, depending upon their age, depending upon other health problems they may have, again, it's follow the label and go talk to your doctor. Can't emphasize that enough.
Good advice. And we will take this interview and put it up as a recording on WOCA's not the website, but the Facebook page, as well as the YouTube channel for WOCA. And that way, all of our listeners who want to share it with other people who might be interested will be able to do that. Dr. Laurence Flint, thank you so much. Stay warm in New Jersey. We'll be back to see you up in there, that part of the woods, sometime soon. We got to take a road trip.
Thank you so much for having me.
What's that?
Oh, you're welcome. He thanked us for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, we will take a little break. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, Thursday, a cloudy day with showers and thunderstorms crossing the area, somewhat flooding downpours. It'll dry out late today, the high 66 to 70. Cloudy early Thursday night, then some clearing late and noticeably cooler with lows in the 40s to near 50. Friday, mostly sunny, high 64 to 68. And on Saturday, partly sunny, high 66 to 70. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene and Debbie would like to thank you for another successful year of business. We also want to wish everybody a safe, healthy, and prosperous 2016. We are ready to be of service with our pasture mowing. 352-629-2440. Locally owned and operated, experienced and reliable, commercial and residential, licensed and insured. Powell Gene, Gene at yahoo.com. 352-629-2440. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. 352-629-2440.
The Appleton Museum of Art has a full schedule this fall of studio art classes for all ages and abilities. Kids can enjoy after-school classes and special programming on school half-days and the first Saturday of every month. Adults can take everything from calligraphy to painting to wheel throwing. For schedules and class descriptions, visit appletonmuseum.org or call 352-291-4455. Bring your creativity to the Appleton Museum of Art, located at 4333 East Silver Springs Boulevard.
Hey, Robin, my friend's mother is getting out of the hospital and needs rehab before she goes home. Do you know of a rehab you'd recommend?
Sure. Our friend Jan Marino works at Palm Garden, and she's always talking about the work they do there.
Great idea. I'm going to call Jan right now. What's the number?
854-6262.
I'll call 854-6262, or I might just stop by Palm Garden. It's at the corner of 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
Great. I'll go with you.
All right, 19 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. 62 degrees right now. It looks like the forecast is calling for it to be a rainy afternoon.
Buddy's out
just
there.
A little bit. Yeah.
Buddy's out there in the rain.
Is it rainy right now? Yeah, a little bit. All right. So then after that, it gets cool. Temperatures dropping tonight into the mid 40s. And then tomorrow stays cool. In the mid 60s is the high, in other words, like today, but then gets lower tomorrow night down into around 40. 43 degrees is the Saturday night low. And then by Sunday, it starts to warm up again into the mid 70s. And 82 degrees, by the way, the expected high temperature for Tuesday. So you can see a little bit of a roller coaster in the temperatures. And probably getting cool again by a week from now. It seems like the weekends are cool. So next Friday might be cool. The first Friday art walk might be cool.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be, because 39 degrees is the overnight low for next Thursday night.
Yeah, we played in an art walk last year. That was really cold.
We did a few cold ones.
It was really cold.
All right, let me tell you about this story. This is a fun story. There's a story about a 99-year-old lady here in Florida. Let's see if I have the town. I don't know if I have the town. But anyway, over the weekend, she was sleeping, and all of a sudden, she felt something on top of her.
Oh, my.
Okay, she felt something kind of stroking her face. 99 years old.
Oh, how scary.
She woke up, and she was face to face with an animal that is normally seen in the rainforest.
Oh, a leopard?
I'm trying to say no, not something that could hurt her. It was. Let me see. She woke up and she was face to face with the animal. This is according to Don Harris, a veterinarian who treated the animal once it was brought to the South Dade Avian and Exotic Animal Medical Center.
Oh, so, it's a bird, like a toucan?
No.
Oh,
I know it sounds like it from that. The unidentified woman panicked, and the creature scurried up to the attic. Her son-in-law, Carlos Aguaras, was called. She called him at 2 a.m. Said, something just woke me up. Went up into the attic. So he goes over there and tried to figure out what was going on to determine the animal. It was a kinkajou.
A kinkajou. Sorry, it's just too funny.
Kinkajou.
Okay.
A kinkajou. It's a mammal native to South and Central America. The animals are also called honey bears. It's a cute-looking animal. They are related to the raccoon. Harris described them as a raccoon that behaves like a monkey. And it kind of looks like a monkey a little bit. It looks cute. It looks really cute.
Yeah,
but it's not tiny. It's not tiny. The group was able to coax the animal out by playing sounds from other kinkajous on their cell phones.
So there's somebody in that community that knows exactly what it is. It's a kinkajou, so it could...
Well, the doctor knew. The doctor knew it was a kinkajou.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. It's still a wild animal. It could have bit her instead of licked her.
Except for the fact that it turns out it was a pet. It was somebody's pet that got loose.
Oh, my gosh.
And, okay, let me find the sound of a kinkajou here.
I got to start closing my doors when I'm taking stuff out of my car.
Hold on, here's a kinkajou. Can you hear it?
I can.
It's a little tiny one. I wonder if that's a baby. Can you have any more noises, little kinkajou there? There you go.
Oh, it's like a squealer. It squeals.
Yeah. There you go. That's a kinkajou.
Oh,
it's a cute little thing. Anyway, so they were able to get it out of the attic with playing the sounds like that of other kinkajous. He said the kinkajou, which was being kept as a pet, was very peaceful, very playful, but it was frightened and it was cold and it was a little dehydrated.
Well, it must have ran away a while ago.
The animal's owner reached out to the center after seeing his pet on the news because of the 99-year-old woman's story.
So where's this owner been all this time?
Probably looking for it. Hey, kinky.
Yeah, they get a lot of reactions in their neighborhood.
Kinky.
Yeah, did you call me? Here I am.
So, all right. So anyway, the animal's owner reached out to the center after seeing them on the news. The duo was reunited. Kinkajous can only be kept as pets with a license.
Right.
But Harris said they could injure someone with their bite. I guess like any animal. He added that the animal is also unsuited to domestication because they are used to being in trees. Mm-hmm. To confine them in a home would be less than ideal for them. Aguaris said the family has a message for the pet's owner. Put it in the hands of the experts, but it's not intended to be a pet in the home. But that doesn't mean anything because as soon as I Googled it, I see a lot of people with kinkajous as pets.
Oh,
like this family, they got one for Christmas.
Kinkajou?
See, they're saying it the same way. Kinkajou.
It's no, Keely. It's handicapped.
That's a little kinkajou. So see that in that video, the girl, like a teenage girl, gets a kinkajou as a gift, and they're feeding it bananas. So
yeah, I just don't go for that. You can't take wild animals. Dogs and cats, okay, or hamsters, but nothing
I don't
else.
understand that though, because people have monkeys all the time. As
I know.
pets.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why?
I think it'd be cool to have a monkey.
Yeah, but they bite.
What about a ferret? All
ferrets bite.
I know, but people have ferrets as animals, right?
Oh,
Dogs
I know.
bite too, Robin.
They do.
Cats bite.
Yeah, but at least they're a little bit more domesticated than ferrets.
All right, we're going to call
Kinkajous.
Jerry at Jerry's Point of Gun and see if they have any kinkajou cages.
Okay.
I didn't report any of that.
Okay. All right,
Ew. Just kidding.
we'll be right back.
Xander.
The Women's Veterans Health Fair will be happening on Saturday, February 20th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Ocala VA Clinic at the Cascades Office Complex at 1515 East Silver Springs Boulevard right here in Ocala. The Women's Veterans Health Fair. Don't miss it. If you'd like more information, give a call to 352-369-3320. That's 369-3320 for the Women's Veterans Health Fair at the Ocala VA Clinic in the Cascades, February 20th from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m.
Saturday, February 13th is set aside for Kid Genius, an event that you must be 21 and older to attend. Love to gamble? That's what we're doing because Kid Genius helps the many families with kids of special needs. www.kidgeniusincorporated.org is where all the information you need is found, and Comic-Con-style costumes are the choice of the evening from 7 to 11 p.m. CrossFit Iron League in downtown Ocala is the location for all this madness and fun. Help Kid Genius help others. www.kidgeniusincorporated.org.
If you wanna get Kid Genius, I'll be there. For some, Valentine's Day means flowers and candy. Not for us.
Join us for the Valentine's Day Massacre, February 13th at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion.
For 7 scheduled bouts of live professional boxing entertainment. Each bout is highlighted with local boxers.
So come out and support the future boxing in Ocala. First bout starts at 7 and doors open at 6.
Proceeds to benefit the Boys and Girls Club. Tickets start at only $15.
Get your tickets at Central Florida Boxing, 1032 Southwest 1st Avenue, or call 352-292-2103.
This is Kendall Carpenter, Director of Operations with Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. I am proud to announce we will be hosting the Coates Golf Championship, presented by R&L Carriers, here the first week of February. This championship will feature the world's best LPGA players, including world number 1 Lydia Ko. Come and experience women's professional golf at its finest. The championship week starts February 1st and ends with the final round on February 6th. Join me to see the very best in golf at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club.
Hey, Robin, my friend's mother is getting out of the hospital and needs rehab before she goes home. Do you know of a rehab you'd recommend?
Sure. Our friend Jan Marino works at Palm Garden, and she's always talking about the work they do there.
Great idea. I'm going to call Jan right now. What's the number?
854-6262.
I'll call 854-6262, or I might just stop by Palm Garden. It's at the corner of 27th Avenue and 34th Street.
Great. I'll go with you. The Appleton Museum of Art has a full schedule this fall of studio art classes for all ages and abilities. Kids can enjoy after-school classes and special programming on school half-days and the first Saturday of every month. Adults can take everything from calligraphy to painting to wheel throwing. For schedules and class descriptions, visit appletonmuseum.org or call 352-291-4455. Bring your creativity to the Appleton Museum of Art, located at 4333 East Silver Springs Boulevard.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage check.
Not mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
WWOCA,
Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. World health experts sounding the alarm about the Zika virus, which some authorities believe could eventually affect more than 4 million people in the Western Hemisphere.
This is the virus that's carried by mosquitoes and is suspected of causing babies in Brazil to be born with small heads.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen. The so-called affluenza teen's time in Mexico's over. Immigration agents there putting Ethan Couch aboard a flight to Dallas, Texas to face charges. And NASA holding a day of remembrance 30 years after the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster.
73 seconds after launch on live television and in front of school children, the unthinkable.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction.
President Reagan was to give a State of the Union address that night, but instead mourned live from the Oval Office, talking about the crew.
Fox Radio's Evan Brown, Fox News. We report, you decide.
All right, let's open up there, Dave. Yes, you have the worst cavity I've ever seen before.
Oh, that explains this horrible pain.
Okay, then, have a good day.
Well, aren't you gonna fix it?
Oh, no, I'm not a dentist, just a dental monitor.
Monitor?
I don't fix cavities, just let you know when you have them. Like I said, it's a pretty big hole.
Why monitor a problem if you don't fix it? That's why LifeLock does more than free credit monitoring to protect you from identity theft. We not only use proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a range of identity threats. If you have a problem, we have a US-based team of specialists who'll fix it. After all, plaque attacks are nothing compared to the identity theft that 1 in 4 people experienced last year. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses. But with LifeLock, protecting your identity is pretty painless. Your molars are a different story. Membership starts at $9.99 a month. Sign up now and get 10% off. Go to lifelock.com and enter promo code NEWS.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Common wisdom suggests we all want partners who are healthy and in shape, but less than 1 out of 10 men and women said they'd actually dump somebody who was too athletic, likely because the perfect physique could signal a vanity problem. Like when you see a friend laughing or crying and you start to laugh or cry too. And now it's been proven dogs have emotional contagion too. Just the sight of devices like Nest Cam and Piper are often enough to scare off crooks who don't want to be caught on camera.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Here are today's headlines from the source WOCA. A former Marion County deputy was indicted on charges of using excessive force during an arrest. A federal grand jury returned the indictment against Jesse Allen Terrell, 33 years old, on charges that he violated the civil rights of Derek Price. The indictment alleges that Terrell, while working as a deputy sheriff with the Marion County Sheriff's Office, repeatedly struck, kneed, and kicked the victim in the head, neck, and shoulder area. If convicted, Terrell faces a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. Residents in a community on the Claremont chain of lakes say every time it rains, their streets flood and water seeps into their yards. It's leading to a battle over the lake's water level. The 55 and up resident-owned mobile home park is part of the chain of lakes that includes Lake Minnehaha, Lake Mineola, and Lake Louisa. Residents say for the last year they've had to deal with flooding issues because the current water level of Lake Minnehaha is too high. They believe it is because the water level is being maintained at 97 feet above sea level, and when it rains, the water damages the community. Consequently, Emerald Lakes residents want officials to open the Cherry Lake Dam and let water out to lower the level of Lake Minnehaha by 1 foot. Water Authority officials say others who live on the Claremont chain of lakes are happy to see the water level back up after years of being low. A Senate committee in Tallahassee voted yesterday to legalize fantasy sports leagues like FanDuel and DraftKings. State Senator Joe Negron of Stewart says they've become so popular that there's no sense in trying to outlaw them. He said, quote, "I can't imagine a scenario where the legislature would want to make criminals out of millions of people who are playing online fantasy sports." He went on to say this bill says there's some regulations. You can't steal the money, you got to post a bond, and you can't have criminals running it, unquote. Fantasy sports games have become a $4 billion business, but Negron says his bill is not an expansion of gambling. Instead, his bill defines fantasy sports games as amusements. Help is on the way for snowbound Washington, D.C. That's the word from the Florida Department of